Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So we're back with another sit down video. Today we're going to be talking about, before I get into that, if you are new here and you like what you see, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe and join the family. Today's video is going to be about how to manifest your dream apartment, and I say dream in inverted commas because a dream has constantly evolved for me, because when I was still staying at home but like living at res, dream was quite different from after I got my first place. And dream is constantly changing, right? The more certain things become more attainable and realistic, the better I can dream, right? The big dreams, because it's very hard for me to kind of dream about something that I feel like is just so abstract. I also want to be able to work towards that thing, right? So when it's so big that I wouldn't even know like how to get there, I'm not saying all the things that I've dreamed, I've always had a plan on how to get there, but it also helps to just sort of feel like it's tangible because I can work towards it. You know what I mean? I can plan for it. I can just make means to work towards it. And then obviously the big dreams that they don't even need you to plan, and because you know that God has got it, right? Like, I want my dream car and God is gonna get me my dream car, and that's that on that, right? There are obviously those dreams, and then there's the dream where I need a car like right now. I need a car as in yesterday. So God, what is my credit score? Like, do I have a deposit? Like, what is realistic, right? And then we get that, which is the current dream, right? But not exactly the indefinite dream or the final dream or the big dream or the it dream. You know what I mean? I am going to be giving you some tips, just like advice on how to go about manifesting, let me say, short-term dream apartment, short-term dream place that you'd like to stay in comparison to where you currently are. So like, if you have plans on moving out, maybe from home or from res or from where you're currently staying, but you're not quite sure of how to get there, this is probably the video that's gonna help you a little bit, give you some pointers, a little bit of clarity. Well, at least I hope so, after you watch it, that you get a little bit of some insight on how you can go about it, right? So firstly, you need to be specific, right? Let's be very, very specific. So I'll make you an example. When I was staying in the one room in Ebony Park, firstly, I was very specific about the rent. I remember whenever I spoke to like someone about moving out, they'd ask me like, what is your budget? And I'd say 3.5. I used to be like because we hate to break this to you, but because you can't find like an apartment for 3.5, or even a bachelor like in the burbs for 3.5. You just cannot. It's not possible, right? Wanting a bachelor with like a little kitchenette and a bathroom for that price in a decent area was a little bit impractical. That's where manifestation comes in. You understand? That's where giving it to the supernatural being. For me, it's always a God. It's my God. The God. It's him, right? This thing that I want seems so unattainable and unrealistic, but I trust that you can do it for me. You know what I mean? Once you've got like your number down, so like your rent, right? You're specific, okay, this is how much I want to pay, right? And then you have to be specific about what you want your apartment to look like. These are the features, these are the things I needed to have. And I was still staying in that one room. I was also specific about even the compound, guys, a place that's like in between, you know what I mean? Like there are those places that are like, it's not a fully fledged township, you know, those new developments within a gated complex, and then inside the gated complex there are houses, you get what I mean? Bond houses, is it bond houses? Those were places that I was thinking around, that okay, cool, I might not get to be like in a gated estate, you know, for 3.5, but I'll still be in a decent environment. I want the compound to be clean, I want it to be decent, the gates, like I want it to be presentable. Like I need to feel comfortable in that area, you know what I mean? And I kid you not, like that bachelor that I got, the compound of that house was, it was so clean, had a pavement outside, like it was well gated, well lit outside as well, to the point where even when there was load shedding, because this was peak load shedding era, when we come back from work in the evening, that house would be lit. There's a friend of mine, Kensani, she recently moved. She was so specific as well about the area that she wanted to move in. She needed to be able to take walks, like morning runs or evening runs. And she was looking for places, she wanted an area that also accommodated that. So it wasn't just about the fact that okay, this is where she stays, but the area as well. Can she take her morning walks, morning runs, evening runs there? Does she feel comfortable? You have to be thinking about these things, right? So that it's not just about the actual place, but it's also what comes with that place that you're going to be staying at or moving into, right? Also, you're not just renting your place, you're renting your surroundings, you know, because you need to be comfortable being able to go outside, because you're not going to be inside every day. Like now, location, right? I told you about the surroundings, the area. You need to know like where you want to stay and why do you want to stay there, you know? Sometimes you won't know until you go to a certain area, or until you maybe visit a friend, or you know, like, but just have an idea if you can. If you can't, that's still fine, because sometimes you bump into the place that becomes it, right? A place that you didn't even know. So what I would suggest is maybe like how you can search for places. You need to know the location, the area, so that you can put it on Property 24 and look around, right? And use it to surf and just see what's out there. If you're moving out of res, you obviously want your own space, you know, but you also need to, because like it gets lonely, number one, but it's always better than staying with people at home. It's always better. But you need to also like why are you moving, you know? Do you want to create content? Do you want to just have your own peace of mind? Because if you do, you need to have things that are going to occupy your time as well. You need to pick up some hobbies, you know. You need to have things that you're going to do, so that you don't always feel like you're wasting away. Like if you've got a business, okay, you're moving so that you can push business, you can do makeup, you can do nails, you can do hair, you know, like, you understand what I mean? Like maybe you're moving to be closer to work, okay, cool, you know, like it's gonna make financial sense for you. You need to start getting prepared. So let's say you have to now move, you're pressed for time, right? Like, so when you finally do, I won't even lie and say that you need to save 3 months worth of rent, because I've never been able to do that myself. But obviously other people can, so of course go for it, do it, like you should, right? You should. But oh, girl, fighting for our lives here, and it's crazy, bro. Like it's crazy. Like nje, we are fighting tooth and nail, multiple jobs, side hustles nje, just so that you can be able to survive. And you know, if you have to save, you really need to deprive yourself to a point where you must not eat. But if you can, especially if you're staying at home and maybe you have a business or you're working, yeah, you can try. I can't even speak for that because I've never been in that position, so I wouldn't even know how to advise you. But I would say you definitely need rent money, like the first month, and deposit. So obviously you need that. So if your rent is 5,000, you need 10K. Actually, you don't even need 10K because if you are moving into an apartment, they have admin fees and so you might actually need a little bit more than that, maybe like 15, you know. But I've heard people saying sometimes they need triple the amount. So do your research and just get information beforehand before you even fall in love with that apartment, so that you don't break your bank, and also you don't break your heart by putting, like, thinking that okay, this is what you want to do, only to find that not really, you know. And also, like, don't rush into it. Like, that's why I was saying take your time, because I remember when I wanted to move, when I was apartment hunting, and I found a place in Florida, like quite a few places, and the places had such an old interior. Oof. And yeah, I didn't like the area. So Nje, I wanted to move because I didn't have transport, and Florida is closer to work, so it would have been great. But my heart was not in it. That's why I prayed. I prayed to God. Guys, I almost even moved to Soweto. I remember my friend Peter was saying, "You wanna move to Soweto?" I will never see you again because Soweto is so far. Like, my heart was not in it, but I was thinking about survival because there aren't taxis here to take me to work. Commuting was impossible. I had to Uber. Uber was expensive. You understand? So the only thing was to move, but the price point didn't make sense. I didn't like the place, how it looked. I didn't like the area. Sonje, the reason I was considering Soweto was because the rent is cheaper, but I just felt like, yeah. So, no shade, guys. Guys, come on, man. Don't be sensitive. No shade, okay? I'm just, this is personal preference. You know, there's some people that wouldn't stay where I stay, and that's completely fine. I don't take offense now. Come on now. Yeah, so take your time. Ungajahi. Just pray on it, you know, and keep a sound mind, a sober mind. Have that first month's rent and your deposits and electricity money, because you need to put electricity. You obviously need a bed, food, you know what I mean? You need a mop, you need a broom, you need the basic stuff, you need cutlery. You know, you don't need to get like a whole set. You just need a few spoons, like 5 spoons, some forks, a knife, yeah, but just your starter pack, you know what I mean? Oh, you obviously need a curtain when you're moving in, you know, so you also need to think about the things that you need when you actually move into the place. Like a brush and a dustpan, you need that. You need like a mat, you know, maybe closer to your bed or somewhere in the room. You need like detergent, you know, washing powder, sunlight liquid for your dishes. You need a fridge. If you can't buy a fridge, no worries, you know, like you can wait it out up until like maybe a month or two. You save up some money and you lay by it, or you buy it cash or credit, whatever option is possible for you. You get a fridge, you know what I mean? But if you already have your things, then obviously you can skip that part because it doesn't apply to you. You already know how to go about this. And if you're moving into an apartment, rates, electricity, water, yeah, so like with an apartment, those things, they come in, they need those things. Or in parking, but some places have free parking, like that place in Florida, they had free parking. I love free parking. Good, thank you. I think I've actually covered everything. Yeah, I feel like maybe like some parting words would be enjoy where you live. Enjoy. Like you need to be able to enjoy where you stay. So you need to make sure that you're really comfortable with it, you're happy with it, you can romanticize it, whether that is making delicious meals for yourself, you know, just enjoying that space. Like I think about when I was staying in that one room. You know, guys, yes, going to shower outside was hard because, you know, downstairs it was tough. But especially coming from, remember, I was renting with a friend of mine, so apartment was hers and I was renting one of the rooms. And just like coming from that, where there was a washing machine which was hers, you know, I had to even sell my fridge because when I moved in with her, there was kind of like, girl, there's no storage, where are you gonna put your things, you know? I didn't have a bed because I was coming out of race, so yeah. But like I basically had nothing, right? So moving into my one room, I had to like buy a fridge again, get a bed, get a headboard, you know, get a stove. Like I had to start from scratch. And what I really loved about that room was it was so clean. Like even when my clients used to come, they used to be like, girl, you know, when they're outside, but when they walked into the room, it smelled good. The aura in that room was just inviting and cozy. There was a lot of lighting. I don't know who I was talking to, but I think it was one of my clients, and she was saying, yo, but that room was so bright, like there's so much light coming in. There was just, it was just so airy. And that's what I really liked as well. First, like, walked inside and I decorated it in the way that I liked, the colors, you know, like it was just, I used to love it so much. It was the first room where I bought white bedding, and if I find a picture somewhere somehow, I'll try to insert it here. But I really loved it. I remember when I sent my mom pictures of like I bought a wardrobe, like nje, you know, I made it so homely. But even people used to be like, oh, does the closet come with the room? I was like, no, I bought it because I just, you know, I made it what I wanted it to be, and I really enjoyed that space. I really loved it. It's just that obviously it wasn't functional, because how can I stay in a space where there's no bathroom, it's outside, you know what I mean? My clients couldn't go to the loo, or, and if they went, it was just a mess, you know, because it's shared, you know. It doesn't matter how big or small the space is for where you are or where you want to be, but you need to make sure that you like it. You need to make sure that you can make it your own. Like you can just, you need to be able to enjoy the space, make it your own. Yeah, I'm not sure if I left anything. Those are some of the tips on how you can go about it. The biggest thing is income. Before you move, you need to either be working or have a business, something, because you need income in order for you to pay for your rent. So if you have a business or you're selling something, you have a service, you have services that you offer like makeup, nails, lashes, whatever it is, you need that so that you can be able to pay for rent. But also, like, if you have a business, it's hard, because I've been there where I was a makeup artist and I had to pay my rent through business. It's hard. So that's why the rent amount matters so much, because you don't want to be getting 0 and be paying 3.5 like me for rent, because that's where I was, you know. When I was staying at that commune before I moved in with my friend, I was paying 3.7, and then I realized I can't do this. And then my friend was like, no, you can come stay with me and then the rent can be 3K. And I was like, cool. Went to stay with her, and the rent was 3,000 for 3 months. After that she said 3.5. I said, and I'm a makeup artist, so I don't like, but also the problem is my priorities were so wrong as well, because I wasn't getting money, but I was trying to like make myself feel better about the situation by going out or buying wine, and it's just like, girl. But that's besides the point. The point is you need to make sure that your rent balances with your income, so that you don't have to like suffer every month when it's month end and you have to pay your bills, because that's what I used to go through, and I used to have panic attacks and anxiety attacks, like But those things, they build your character. It's character development. You come out of that thing so strong and knowing better, like I do now, you know. In fact, I can sit here and say, you know, guys, I want to move there, but not now. Not now, because I know that that place is gonna stress me in the long run. You know what I mean? So it helps you. Like, those situations, they're necessary because they show you how life should be, and you learn for yourself firsthand. You know what I mean? So there aren't any mistakes. Like, you just learn, you just become better. You know, failures, they help you just become better. You know, obviously, if you learn and you take heed of the lessons and you do better, you know. But yeah, so the biggest thing is definitely like your income. You have to be able to manage where you stay, and sometimes that can look like staying with people or staying with someone, or you know, or like, as long as you, or even if you have a side hustle, or even if you have help from home, you know. I hope these tips were helpful. And yeah, just trust God, have faith. Like, if you want to stay in an apartment, obviously Property 24. And then if you want to stay in a township, but like find a decent place, you need to look at Facebook groups. Either like you're gonna Google, like you're gonna search maybe like rooms in Soweto, or you're gonna use the actual township names in Soweto, maybe like Dobsonville, Protea Glen, you know. If you guys want like an actual video of how to do it, like just tell me. Maybe I can always try to shoot that and show you like how to actually look for the rooms, or like look for places on Property 24. Another thing that helps agents, I got my the first place, The Bachelor, I got it through an agent. So they look for the place for you, they tailor it to exactly what you want. You just tell them, Guti, I want a place like this, like that. They tailor everything for you. You go for a viewing, you find your place, just like that. It's just that you have to pay them a service fee. Mine was 700. Again, it goes back to the whole patience thing, because I feel like it's also divine timing. Because how I got the number of that agent was, whenever I used to come back from work, I used to see these other like rooms in a certain area, right? And one day I was just like, let me get off here and go inside there and ask, because the gate was open. So I went there. There was a lady there outside, and she was like, hi. I was like, hi. I was like, oh, like do they have any rooms available? And she was like, no, actually all of them are filled, but I have an agent that can help you get a place, da 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 da. She gave me the number, and that was that, you know. So I know like where I'm currently staying, like the gates are always locked. So even if someone knocks, like no one's gonna go open, you know what I mean? Like, unless maybe like I'm sitting outside and then the person sees me outside and then they're like, hi, you know what I mean? But for the most part, like it's quite hard to do it that way. So Facebook is your best bet. And referrals, like ask people, like if someone stays somewhere where you would like to stay, ask, like ask, you know. You don't even have to ask them if you feel like it's gonna be offensive to them. You can just, you see the estate name, Google it, you know. And do not pay anyone without, how can you verify that? Go to they are who they say they are. I'm actually not sure, but I'll do my research. But a friend of mine was telling me how she got scammed, like by a fake agent who, you know, she had already paid the deposit and rent, and you know what I mean. So just make sure that maybe you sign stuff first, like sign contracts. How can you even verify if the contract is real? I don't know. Like, there are so many scams, man. Like, where they're like, oh, like there was this other one where when I was looking for a place in Soweto, they were like, you have to pay viewing fee. Viewing fee? I must give you 150 to view a place that I might not even take. So, Nje, just keep your eyes open. And obviously these things, they happen to the best of us, you know. Like, you never know like how a scam is gonna come, you know. But just try to verify and pray about it all in the mighty name of God. We're covered and shall not experience any scams in the mighty name of God. Amen. Woo. Because damn, like, you don't want to be going through that. Please comment if you have more tips or things that I missed, you know. Yeah, so that we can just talk about it. I can also get, you know, some tips as well. That's it, guys. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.